Hello everyone, this is Eric. I'm Captain Logan. That doesn't matter because Eric's going to do all the talking. Eric is going to do how he felt about some more movies that he watched this last time, and I thought I would just give him the floor for an entire video. Eric today is going to talk about 3 movies I've never heard of. I know zilch for nothing about any of these movies.
Okay. So,
do you remember all 3?
Yeah.
Because I have them written down. So
No,
if you,
no,
that can be my one job. I don't even get that job.
So, the first movie I'm going to talk about is Hereditary, which is a film I rented, just came out a couple of weeks ago. Horror movie. Had a lot of buzz around it. Is wonderful. It is...
Is it another Blumhouse movie?
Probably. It is... There were no jump scares. It's the first horror movie I've seen, even horror movies I like. It's the first one in a long time where there's no jump scares. There's no, like... Not even
Doesn't
like...
it depend on the kind of movie it is, or do we say if it's got no jump scares, now it's a thriller and not a horror movie?
No, I just think most horror movies now have jump scares. Or even the, like, that thing, like, I hate it in The Amazing Spider-Man, where, like, nothing, like, it's not actually like a jump scare where, like, nothing's happening, we just do the music where it's like, boom, and you're like, oh!
I hate it so much.
No, I hate it. It's really obnoxious in The Amazing Spider-Man, because, whatever. So this is, boy, it's a hard movie to talk about. I'm going to spoil part of this movie.
Oh, no. Only way you can give the premise?
It's the only way that I can explain the stakes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is a movie that I'm watching and I'm enjoying, and then has a moment where I'm like, surely that's not what happened. Wait, we're just moving from here? Wait, that happened? Like, it takes me like 10 minutes of this movie to like fully decide, like, oh, this is what happened, and we're just going to keep moving forward. So, the film focuses around a mother, and we find out that there's a lot of bad history with her family, a lot of mental illness and things like that. This is one of those movies where it's like, are they crazy or is it supernatural? It's one of those where it just asks the question the entire time. Yeah, or you're thinking the entire, like, is she going crazy or is something happening? She has a daughter and she has a son. The son's a teenager and the daughter is... I'm not sure... There's something not right about the daughter. I'm not sure if she's just, like, really socially awkward or if she's got some kind of mental disability, but, like, she's not. She's not right. The teenage boy wants to go to this party and there's a girl there that he likes, and he tells his mom he's going to a school function, and his mom's like, okay, well, we'll take your sister. And his sister doesn't even want to go. Like, the mom just thinks, like, well, the sister needs to get out or whatever. So he takes the sister, and we set up that she has, like, a nut allergy. And she's at this party that's just, like, teenagers. Like, it's just, like, teenagers, like, they're smoking pot and, like, drinking beer and, like hanging out or whatever, right? And he's going to go in this room with this girl. And they're going to smoke pot, and he's like, hey, just stay here, and, like, we'll do something like when I come back out. And he's like, look, they have cake. And so she eats the cake, and we see, before that, like we have, like, a shot of, like, preparing for the party, and they're chopping up nuts. So we know there's nuts in the cake. And, like, her throat starts closing up.
Oh. And
so he's like, okay, we have to go. So he puts her in the car, they're going to go to the hospital, and she can't breathe, and she's got the window open. And she's like, she puts her head out the window to, like, get air. Like, she's trying to, like, because they're going fast, and, like, she's trying to get air because her throat's closing up. And there's something in the road, and he swerves, and there's a telephone pole, and the little girl just loses her head. Just clean off.
That's the big thing you had to reveal.
That's the big thing I have to reveal. Well, that and then what immediately happens next. Because it deeply disturbed me.
Yeah.
So I actually had to rewatch that scene like 2 or 3 times where I was like, is that what happened? Because it's real quick. I'm like, does she just not have a head? She just doesn't have a head now. And he just sits there. Like...
Her neck is enjoying a pleasant breeze.
Yeah, and he just sits... This movie is great at having, like, just these long moments of, like, silence.
Yeah.
Where, like, he just sits there. Like, just sits there in the car. Like, doesn't know what to do. He's a stupid teenager. He's high right now, and like he's just sitting there.
Wow.
And then he drives home, and he goes upstairs. He goes to bed, and just lays in bed until the morning when his mom goes downstairs to get the car, and his sister's decapitated corpse. Yes. And I was like, "There's no way." He just let his mom find. Like,
we should have turned off all the lights and just given you a flashlight. Like the way you're telling the story, it sounds like a campfire. And then the mom came down, and she didn't have a head.
Like it deeply like the idea of finding that in your car.
Yeah.
So deeply disturbed me, and it's just.
You know how to sell a movie, man. Like I want to watch that now.
Yeah, and it's this real eerie. There's a lot of like really cool things, like things just kind of like if like things are happening over here, like you're looking at the characters, but like kind of at the corner of your eye, you see like something crawl across something, like things like that. It's so eerie, and it's so. And I wasn't sure at first because, so after the daughter dies, we kind of skip ahead to the funeral, and then we kind of skip ahead a little bit from that. There's this amazing scene where the mother and the son have an argument. And because they're just not talking about it. And I wasn't sure if I bought that, but then I kind of got to the point where I'm like, this is a family with a history of mental illness. And like I buy it in the reality of the film that like this is that because I wasn't sure about the kid just going home and like laying in his bed, but then I was like, but what is he gonna do?
Yeah.
Like what do you do in that situation? And so
is he actually able to sleep, or does he just lay there?
He just lays there. He just
okay.
he just like lays like he's just like this, just waiting for it to happen. Like he knows he's just laying there. So that's the big thing I'll give away about the movie, and then it keeps going. That's like the first act plot point.
Okay.
Is like the death of that little girl. And
is there a supernatural component to it, or?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay.
Because you don't know. I'm not gonna tell you whether the supernatural component or not.
That means there is.
It's great. That's not true. That's not true. There's plenty of movies that
means there isn't. See.
There's plenty of movies that are like, is it mystical? Is it not? Oh, it's just crazy. Like
no,
movies like
that's
that.
absolutely right.
So I'm just not going to tell you.
Or it's ambiguous and it's obnoxious. Or it's like, and you don't know if there was. Yeah.
This is not that. It has a definitive ending, or it has a definitive answer. The ending is haunting.
You didn't walk away not understanding it.
No, it's one of the best. Like the ending, just like it felt so like this is the kind of movie we make in the 70s. Not like it felt like a 70s movie, but like the ending felt so bleak.
Yeah.
And so just it lets you sit there with it. It reminded me a little bit of Robert Chambers' work, who did The King in Yellow. If anyone knows what that is, it kind of made me feel a little bit like King in Yellow. And those short stories. It's really good. It's really fun. It's haunting. And like, in a way, I haven't seen a horror movie in a long time. Where like
it actually bothered you.
It actually bothered me. I've been thinking about this movie. The main chick, I forget what I know her from. I know her from something that I saw more recently. She's great. The only complaint I have about the movie is I don't buy the relationship that the mother and the father have. He seems like an afterthought, like they don't want it to be a broken home. But, like, I don't buy that they're a couple. And there's supposed to be friction between them, based on the previous things that have happened. There's this thing about what she did when her kids were little kids. It's disturbing. And like once you find that out, you're like, oh man, that's why that kid is messed up. But there's supposed to be like friction between them. I don't buy that they're in a relationship. Like, and maybe it's that end of the relationship kind of thing where it's like, well, yeah, they're not like they're just still together, but they're not. Like maybe it's supposed to be that, but I didn't get that sense at the beginning.
The problem with that is it's hard to tell if that's what it is, because then you don't know what attracted them in the first place.
Yeah.
And so you need more context somehow.
And then
that can be tricky.
His line where he's like, "You're crazy. We have to do something about this." I was like, this should happen like 20 minutes ago. Like, I don't know why this is the thing you're drawing the line on.
Like, you don't want to be too expository, but you almost need. I'm just teaching writing class now. You almost need the children to talk about when their parents loved each other or something.
Yeah. This isn't I don't know where you would put that in this movie.
Yeah,
but,
maybe it doesn't work in this movie, but
no, this movie is haunting, and it just kind of sits there with you.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's the best kind of horror for like genuinely scary horror. It's unsettling.
Can I ask you this question?
Yeah.
Are we seeing a bit of a renaissance with horror movies? Well, I know there's a lot of bad horror movies still, but are we seeing a bit of a renaissance where, for a long time, I would say this, and other people would say that that you can't scare people anymore. I don't know if that's true now.
I think we might figure that out. Yeah,
I feel like lately we've been getting movies where people are like, I was genuine. At least I was disturbed by them.
Well, we're also finding a divide now where I think there's more of like a thinking horror. Where like
almost like science fiction, right?
Yeah, but like I could see a lot of people seeing this movie and be like, that's dumb and boring. I heard that about The Witch from people. Where like The Witch is the most boring movie we've ever seen. I heard from other people it's a brilliant piece of horror.
Yeah.
I think we're finding a divide where we have like a more sophisticated horror, which is more what I'm interested in as far as like.
Well, I'm sure people saw Moon and were like, "This is boring."
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. That's why I think it's happening right now. I think what's really interesting is I think Blumhouse is making both.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about, I will do Feeling It for Hereditary. I highly recommend Hereditary to everyone. If you like horror, it's great. Next one I'm going to talk about is Repo Man. Here's what's weird about this. It's a Criterion movie. I don't know why. This is a very good movie. It's very weird.
That's a cool box.
It's a really cool box. It's very weird, but I don't know why this is Criterion. Like, I think about a bunch, like, this is kind of like a bunch of other movies. Not in a bad way, but, like, there's other movies from the 80s that I think are about this level of quality, but they're not Criterion films. I don't understand that. I don't know why this is a Criterion movie. It's not a movie I'd ever really heard of.
Yeah.
So this is about this is Emilio Estevez.
Oh.
And he's kind of a layabout loser teenager, not teenager, but like early 20s. And he ends up becoming a Repo Man. And Henry Dean Stanton is his mentor, and he's great. I wish he was in it more. There's a point in the movie where he just kind of drops out, and I'm like, what, is he shooting another movie? Like, where did he go?
This is a comedy or
This is a comedy.
Okay.
It's this weird world. I'll give that in a second.
Okay.
Okay. So Henry Dean Stanton is his like mentor. He's teaching him how to be a Repo Man. It's one of those movies. I don't know if you have this. Do you ever watch like cop movies? Like, they're having so much fun. I kind of want to go be a cop. You ever have that?
Sure.
Where like
different perspectives.
Specifically in like comedies, where like they're having so much fun doing that job. I kind of like that. This is kind of like that, but like he gets shot at stealing cars. But like they kind of make like it sound like
in real life it can't be anything like this.
Yeah, I mean, like they get shot at. Like it. Okay. It's not good, but like it kind of seems like Henry saying this whole thing about like the code of the Repo Man.
Is there like
things like that.
a thrill to it, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, it just seems kind of fun. It seems like a real easy life. Except for the stealing other people's cars thing.
We get to take people's stuff, but we're supposed to.
Yeah. So early on, and I talked to you while I was watching this movie, because
is this like a super young Emilia Estevez?
Yes. This is 84.
Wow.
The other movie we're going to talk about is also 84.
Okay.
Because 84 is a great year for movies, apparently. And you.
Right. Mm-hmm. It was the year I was born.
So...
Because we've still got to do our commentary on Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that for a long time, yeah. Sorry.
So early on in this movie, Henry Dean Stanton's driving around with Emilio Estevez, and he's explaining to him like how to be a Repo Man. And I'm like, oh, this movie is definitely an influence on Men in Black. There's no way around it. This movie's an influence on Men in Black. And then aliens start... And like they start talking about aliens, and I'm like, okay, this movie is an influence on Men in Black. Now, I'm not saying Men in Black is like a rip-off of this, but like, this movie's view of the world is very influential on Men in Black. Like, also the old guy ditching young guy thing.
Is it the people are in denial and don't see things that are really their thing?
Kind of.
Okay.
So, like, the alien thing this is not exactly a movie about aliens. It's kind of like a background thing. Like, it's one of those things where, like, we keep having this subplot about this car.
How would you do that?
And you don't really know what's going on with it. But then, like, everything coalesces at the end of the movie.
Okay.
And Emilio's... I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end of the movie. Like, the opening scene of this movie is a guy's driving around in a car, and somebody pulls him over, and they open up the trunk, and then they just turn to a skeleton. So, like immediately, you know, like, there's something up in this car. And it's like... Emilio Estevez keeps missing the plot of the movie. Like, there are 2 times where he misses a robbery. Like, he goes into a convenience store, leaves, and, like, people, like, get up from behind the counter pointing guns at the clerk that were there the whole time. And then later in the movie, he comes in, leaves, and immediately people come in and rob the store. Like, there are things happening and he just keeps missing them. And the alien stuff's like that. This is this really bleak world where, like, so, like, he goes to the convenience store and, like, everything's just labeled, like, food, drink, beer. Like, that's how this world exists. There's a point where he tries to get his parents...
Everything's generic?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, it's just... Because it's just product.
Oh, interesting.
And, like, there's a point where he goes home and...
you think there's some kind of a point being made with that, or...?
It's anti-consumerist. Like
Yeah.
It's a very anti-consumerist, satirical kind of a thing. There's a point where he goes home and he's just eating a can of food. And his mom's like, you should eat that up. He's like, nah, it's great like this, Mom. And his parents are just like that, like zombie, like, watching TV thing. But, like, they're kind of talking to him, but they're not looking away from the TV, and they're watching a televangelist, because the 80s hated televangelists.
Yeah.
Just the entire decade just hated televangelists. And they...
this sounds like a thing I might want to watch.
I think you might like this movie. And so he's like, hey, you know how you said, like, I should go to college, and if I was going to go to college, you give me the money to go to college, like, that's. He's kind of like trying to get his parents to give him money. He's like, what if you gave me the money now, and then, like, I'll go to college. I think you're right. I think I should go to college, but I really need that. If you could give me that money, and then they just go, oh, we can't. We spent that money. We gave it to they gave it to the televangelists. They donated his college funds to them. And he's like, and they're like, oh, but you'll be so happy because you get, like, a placard. Like, it's like that you donated to the Jesus or whatever.
Wow.
It's a real weird movie. I really liked it. It's worth watching. It's definitely, especially because you also, like, if you like Men in Black, I think you should go watch this movie. Because I don't think Men in Black is a ripoff of this in any way. This movie influenced Men in Black. Like, there's no way around it. They saw this movie. I think that's really interesting. It's really good. It's really funny. And it's just kind of weird, and I liked it.
This doesn't sound anything like the same movie, but I'm getting flashes to They Live. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's about some of the same things that movie's about.
It's about some of the same things. It's a little bit more subtle than They Live. It's a lot more subtle than They Live. It
doesn't have a 10-minute brawl in the middle of a back alley.
It does not have a 10-minute brawl in the middle of a back alley. The last film I'm going to talk about is a movie called Streets of Fire, which also came out in 1984.
Wow, just 1984 movies.
Yeah.
One of these things is not like the other. Hereditary came out 2 weeks ago.
I would describe watching Streets of Fire as a life-altering experience for me. So Streets of Fire is a film that I was aware of.
Is it that good, or just because it's crazy or something?
It's that good.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
this I have heard of, but I don't know anything about it.
So I heard of this. The big thing that I knew from this is that the Proto Men really like Streets of Fire, and that the original poster, not this one, this cover sucks. I want the poster, but the original poster, the cover art for the Proto Men's second album, Act 2, is very much modeled on the original poster for this movie, which is an amazing poster. So I'd always heard of it, and I always intended to watch it, but I thought it'd be one of those movies where either A, it's mostly dull, and, like, there's a couple of cool scenes, or it'd be a movie that's also kind of, like, mostly dull and there's a couple of cool scenes, but, like, it would take a little bit to grow on me. Like, a lot of John Carpenter movies are like that, where, like, I saw, like, Escape from New York, I was like, that was it?
Yeah.
And, like, I watched it a couple more times, and I was like, oh no, I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. I thought it might be like that, right? Well, like, I watched it, I was like, yeah, it was alright, and, like, maybe it would grow on me. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. Now,
Wow.
I'm not saying that it's, like, that it's like a cinematic masterpiece in that it's, like, got these deep, evolved, like, emotional characters, and, like, there's this complex plot. Not like that. I didn't know that once someone made a movie just for me. Like, it's perfect. It's the perfect, like, encapsulated, like, male power fantasy. It is the 70s, 80s, and the 50s at the same time. It's just a dude who, like, comes in to, like, save an ex-girlfriend, and then, like, rides off at the end. And, like, it's this real heightened reality. It's this movie didn't do well, so like it's unlikely that Tim Burton saw this before he made '89, but it's kind of like that. Like it's just a world they made. And it is
interesting.
And it is a world they made.
So
everything
like
is on a set. Yeah, it's super heightened. It describes itself as a rock and roll fable, both on the cover and like it opens with like a rock and roll fable. It feels like someone saw Star Wars and took away like the right lessons, where it was like, oh yeah, like anytime, any place kind of thing. Like saw, you know, a long time ago, a galaxy far, far away, as just being like I can do whatever I want here. This is like that. This opens and it says like sometime, someplace. Like it's just, this doesn't exist. It's just a fantasy world.
Oh, Defoe's the bad guy.
Defoe is the bad guy. He's great.
Oh, I'm sure. And getting really young, I'm sure.
He's really young. This is the movie that people... That was the other thing I knew from this movie, is that people took pictures of him in
I
this.
think maybe that's the reason that I've heard of this movie. Maybe I heard him
Defoe?
talking about it.
Oh, okay.
In something, yeah.
The other reason I know this movie is because people were taking pictures from him in this movie and giving him like green hair and like pale skin, like, look, he should have been the Joker in '89. And he should have been. Like, he's great. It's this...
Yeah, but his name wouldn't have sold that movie like
No.
this.
You
You gotta have that.
But like he obviously should be like he's so skinny and like he's got the big smile. Like
You don't mean instead.
like physically
He should have.
Yeah, like physically he should have played the Joker, especially that young. But even now he can play the Joker.
Yeah, sure.
But it's just this like wonderful like bluesy, jazzy, rock and roll like super like hyper masculine kind of like it's kind of like Sin City. Not as like vulgar as Sin City.
That was the thing I was going to ask you.
It's kind of like Sin City. And like at the end, like they square off like men, right? Like they're gonna fight, but with like sledgehammers. Like they have a sledgehammer fight. And not like they have a
That's
fight.
how men fight.
Yeah, and not like they have a fight and like it gets to like they both like, oh, there's sledgehammers here. Let's fight with them. Like they're brought out like dueling pistols and they give them That's just how you do
That's
it.
hilarious.
Here.
Like Vulcan Lirpas. That's just what you use. It's a ritual.
Yeah.
That's what you use.
Yeah. No, I adored this movie. It was kind of I was like, why? Like it's insane that I've never seen this movie before. Like it's crazy to me. I'm also very sad.
You said like you had what I had with Planet of the Apes, where it was like, this is a movie I should have been living with all those years.
Yes. So here's the other thing that I love about this movie. I want to raise my kids.
You'd be comparing this to everything.
Yeah. It's like Streets Fire. I want to raise my kids on this movie, and I can. It's a PG movie.
Wow.
It's 80s PG, but like, I'm gonna raise my kids on Indiana Jones. Like, it's a movie I should have grown up. Like, I literally should have grown up with.
At least 11 or 12, you should have seen this movie.
I'd show this to an 8-year-old.
Well, sure, but you're just saying like.
Yeah. No.
But like your formative years, like you should have seen this movie.
I should have seen this movie. I should have seen this movie so many times. No, it's
wow.
The way it's not like Sin City is that it's real clean. Like, I mean, it's kind of dirty. In that like the world is dirty, but like
content-wise.
Yeah, it's like. So like Willem Dafoe kidnaps the Diane Lane, the main girl, who has an amazing name. What is her name?
And I liked her in things.
Ellen Aim. I don't know why. It's a really catchy name, Ellen Aim. I was trying to figure out if it's like a pun or something. It doesn't seem to be. I don't know. So he kidnaps her, and he says,
"Does she have like a gun or a crossbow or something?"
No, she's a rock star. She's a singer. Actually, there's a song she sings in this that was written for this song you have probably heard. Like it was a radio hit.
Movie?
Yeah. This movie didn't do well, but that song you've definitely heard.
Yeah.
And so Willem Dafoe, he kidnaps her, which is also cool. He kidnaps her and they get her back like halfway through. I expected the whole movie to be trying to get his girlfriend. It's not. They get her back. And then Willem Dafoe's like, all right, well, I'm going to come get her back again. And there's a whole thing with the cops. The cops are like, we're not going to do this your way. And then they try to arrest him and they can't. And they're like, all right, you try your way. Like men with sledgehammers. Oh, it's great. Oh, and Bill Paxton is in this, and he's great. But so Willem Dafoe steals Diane Lane, and he says, "You and me, we're going to fall in love together for a couple of weeks. And I'm going to get rid of you. And, like, that's how he explains that he's going to, like, have this woman. And I'm going to get bored of you. I stole you and I will get bored of you. But, like, a kid can see that. A kid won't know. They don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It's that kind of movie. Like, no, I'm kind of angry that my mother didn't show this to me. Now, where this movie, because nobody saw this movie. Also, the main guy, Michael Paré, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's got an accent over
him in anything.
Yeah, should have been a star. Should have been a movie star. Like in the '80s, should have been a movie star. He's really good. Like, he's a real good, like, strong-jawed, like, male lead kind of a thing.
Yeah, just looking at this box, I didn't watch this movie, but he looks like the kind of action star that they kept giving Dolph Lundgren parts for.
Yeah, except he can act a little bit better than that.
Where you're like, that... It should have been Dolph Lundgren.
He could have been the Punisher. There's no reason he couldn't have been the Punisher.
That reminded me of the Punisher box. That's probably why I said that.
Nah, if you guys, like, have sent... Sorry. Before I sum up, this was not successful. It was supposed to be the first of a trilogy. Really disappointed. It was not. Like, once I found out that they were going to do, like, 2 more movies, I was like, oh...
Did it have, like, a sequel bait thing, or...?
No, he just goes off at the end. It would have been more like like, or like, you know, Western. He, like, walks off, goes into the town. Japan loves this movie.
Weird.
And there's a lot of 80s video games, like Streets of Rage, Double Dragon. There's another one. They're all beat 'em ups about girlfriends getting stolen.
Yeah.
They're all very clearly influenced by this movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, it's if you have similar sensibilities to me, and you haven't seen Streets of Fire, you need to. It's amazing. I actually meant to watch it again before we recorded, just because I wanted to watch it again. It's so good. It's so good.
I'd watch it with you.
You probably wouldn't like it that much.
Oh, you don't think so? Okay.
I mean, we can watch. You're not. I don't. I think if we would watch it, you'd be like, yeah, it was fine. Like, it's very much for me. Like,
it has actors I like.
It does. It's worth seeing for Willem Dafoe. Oh, you know who else is in this that's not listed on the box? Who is, like, the sidekick? Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis is in this movie.
No,
yeah.
Now I really want to watch it.
He's left town. His name's Tom Cody. He was in the army for a little bit. He comes back, and she's dating Rick Moranis, who's her manager. And so they kind of, like, team up together to go save the girl. No, it's so good.
And like '84, Rick Moranis is like on top of the world right then. Like,
is he? I would have thought it would be like right before he hit big. Yeah, you're wrong.
But I mean, right around there, right?
Yeah. When's Ghostbusters?
I think it's '84. Is it not?
I think you might be right. I feel like he's just about to blow. I don't think he would have done this movie if he was big.
Okay.
That's why I think this must be right before he gets big.
I guess it would be like he's about to get big, but yeah.
Also, directed by Walter Hill. Who talks about, and it's interesting, he talked about, like, in interviews in the day, that he wanted it to look like a comic book. He wants it to be a comic book movie. He just couldn't find any comic book he actually wanted to, like, make into a movie, so he made his own. Before this, he does The Warriors. If you like The Warriors, it's a lot like The Warriors. Not as dark as The Warriors, but it's like The Warriors. And The Warriors also feels kind of like a comic book. But yeah, no, I love Streets of Fire. You should go see it.
You know, I can't remember who it was, Eric, but I was watching an interview with somebody the other day that had worked with Willem Dafoe and referred to him as Bill Dafoe. And I was like, but his name is Willem, not William. So I was like, does he actually go by Bill? I wouldn't think so. But isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I wonder about that. So I want to do some cross-referencing and see if I can find anybody else.
Is anyone else like Bill?
Bill Dafoe. Well, thanks for talking about those.
Yeah. Hopefully I didn't bore anybody. You didn't have to watch the video.
I was riveted. Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Sure appreciate it. This was how he felt about with Eric, talking about some movies that he watched on his own. And next up on the Omnibus, we're going to go to Primetime Crisis. We've got a few things to talk about. Eric and I are going to talk about how we feel right now about Iron Fist, having not finished it. We may come back and do more of it, but we're not sure right now, and we're inching toward no. But we'll talk about what we've seen so far. I'm going to talk a little bit about Arrow Season 6, because I finished that, and we've also got to talk about Dirk Gently. So
Oh, yes!
we'll do all of that.
Yes.
And
I watched this movie, and Dirk Gently all on the Monday after we recorded last time.
wow, good job remembering everything.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. If you are watching in the playlist for the Omnibus, just keep it rolling. And for everybody that just clicked on this video, we sure appreciate it. And we will see everybody here in just a little bit if you keep watching with us. I am Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
Thanks, folks.
do.